Hey entrepreneurs, the success coach here with MaximumChange.com. Today I want to talk to you about building value for your customers. And we're actually going to be talking about your value proposition. Now this is kind of a sneak peek at the training that I'm going to be offering here in the future. And I'm going to be looking at how you grow your personal brand. And so I've been working on that here in my beautiful little binder notebook here, and getting ready to put that together. Been putting together the slides or the slide deck for you, and hopefully you will find great value in what I'm about to say today, because this is kind of a sneak peek of some of the stuff that I'll be talking to you about in that webinar that I'm putting together. So let's talk about the basics here. What is a value proposition? Well, put simply, if you want to take it from a technical side, it is like a marketing statement that refers to how the company is going to provide you with value from their product or service. That's kind of the techie version. Basically, a value proposition is a promise of value to be delivered to the customer. You promise to do something for the customer, and that is your value proposition that you use to get them interested in what you do. And my value proposition is I help entrepreneurs build their empire. I help entrepreneurs build 6, 7, 8-figure businesses. That's what I do. I take an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur, someone who's starting out and they're trying to build a business, and I help them to come up with ideas. I keep them focused. I have accountability. I do all these things. But my value proposition is that I help entrepreneurs build their business. Now, I know that that is kind of a very broad statement because I do many different things. I coach, I mentor, I consult. I'm kind of, a la carte sometimes. Sometimes I go from coaching to consulting to mentoring back to coaching again, all in one sentence. My value proposition is I help entrepreneurs build their business, build their empire. See, a value proposition, what value you give the customer is the reason why they should buy from you. It explains how your product or your service is going to solve their problem. What is the problem they have? The customers, the clients that come to me have a problem. They don't know how to go to the next step. They're struggling. They need to go to the next level. Maybe they know where they want to go, they know what they need to do, but they're trying to figure out how to step up onto that next level. And so they need someone to come alongside them, to encourage them, to point the way, to maybe boost them a little. That's what I do. So your value proposition has got to explain how your product or service is going to solve the customer's problem or improve their situation. How do you improve someone's situation? Now, I could talk about the value proposition of this Precise VSRT pen. I could talk, Pilot has a great pen here. I happen to like fine pens. You can see it's a very fine pen, all right? Maybe you can't see it. What is the value here to me as a consumer? Well, the value first and foremost is I like fine writer pens because that's just my style. And it is a gel pen, so I like the way it glides. I like that it doesn't bleed through the paper as I'm writing notes in my notebook. I like how it's a black pen. It writes in black ink, but I could get blue if I was interested in that. And I could get red, and I think they have green. They have options. But the value proposition for me is that it's retractable, that it has a hook on it if I want to stick it in my pocket. It is foremost a fine line pen. That is the value proposition for me. And what's really cool about it is I've used this pen before and I know I like it. So when I go to the store to buy pens like I did today, I bought 2 more of these because I know at some point this pen's going to run out. So I have an heir and a spare. Okay, so anyhow, your value proposition has got to explain how your product or service is going to solve their problem or make their life better. This pen makes my life better, makes my job better, makes my writing better. I write. I'm always writing. This is, listen, I fill up notebooks like this. I have about 6 notebooks that I've filled in a year because I'm constantly writing notes. And you know what? I can go back to every one of those notebooks and I can chart and find and look for goals. And I have client notes in some of them. And so these are very valuable. This is another value. You know, what is the value of this notebook? And I could name off those values. So here's some examples of value propositions that you should consider. Our prices are the lowest. So if you want to base your value proposition off of pricing, that's certainly a good strategy. It's a common strategy, but here's a challenge for you. When you start basing off of price, at some point, 2 things are going to happen. Either you're going to create a pricing war with competition. Someone's going to come along, or maybe you're in a market that's saturated with other competitors, and there's someone that isn't going to give up their market share, so they're going to fight you for it. So they're like, well, if you're going to be $19.95, I'm going to be $18.95. And then you start this spiraling down price war. You don't want to do that. The other problem that I have with price is this. Listen, in the 1980s, I studied Sam Walton, Walmart. In fact, if you've never read the book Made in America, you need to go read Sam Walton's story, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because it's amazing what he did to build the empire that he left to his family, who essentially don't even have to work now. They're billionaires. And he left that legacy all because of the hard work he did in a 5 and dime, Ben Franklin store. Read that story. You got to go do it. But my point here is we have created, or Sam Walton, unbeknownst to him probably, we've created what I call the Walmartization of the economy. And what I mean by that is people expect a deal. And if you have a consumer that comes to you that immediately leads with, what deal are you going to give me? What discount are you going to give me? I'm going to tell you right now, I have gotten to a place in my life as a business owner where I do not pursue them as a client. In fact, I very matter-of-factly tell them, this is the price. I would love to have you as a client, but that price may go up. It's not going down. I found out a long time ago that when you lead with price or lead with the lowest price or your race to the bottom to the discount side of things, what I have found is that clients don't really put value in what you're giving them because they know it's at a discount. They know that you said it's $10,000, but they got it for $2,500. So you see, you have devalued what you're offering by leading with price. So be very careful when you lead with price, okay? But that is certainly a value proposition. Our prices are the lowest. Here's another value proposition that you should consider. Our product is uniquely better. And then you share why it's uniquely better. You have to say why it's better. Listen, I know that there are coaches and business consultants, business coaches, life coaches. There are hundreds of them out there. In fact, I can tell you right now that I follow a couple of really fantastic coaches. Why? Because I personally want to grow and I interact with them. I have to know that what I offer is not just unique to the market, but unique to me, that it's uniquely me. And so my product, my service is uniquely better because I offer it. And if you go and look at the reviews on my website at MaximumChange.com, you could see feedback from people who have said why I'm uniquely better. And so you should use that as market research to build your company. Ask people, what is it that I'm good at? And I've talked about this before. Ask your neighbors, ask your colleagues, business associates, maybe someone who's done business before. Joe, Sue, what is it about me that you like, that I'm good at? What do you find to be my attributes that are uniquely better than someone else? Why do you choose to do business with me? Ask those questions. Our product is uniquely better. Now this type of value proposition helps you to avoid certainly the price war attribute that the price leader, leading with price value proposition will give you. But you need to know what your uniqueness is, be confident in it, be able to articulate it. Listen, what's unique about me is that I'm not just a person who's gotten all these degrees. All right, I have a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate in business. I'm not a scholar. I'm not going to talk to you very scholastically. I could use very sophisticated wording and make you feel stupid because you don't know. I could do that. And then I would be out of business. I have to be able to explain to you why I'm unique in the market. I'm going to tell you why. Not only do I have the book smarts, yes, I've studied and read a whole lot and written books. Yes, I've done that. So what? So what about that? How are you going to help me is what my client wants to know. I have been working with clients since 2005. So I have thousands of hours of working with clients all around the world, both face-to-face and virtually through video conferencing. And in the early days, everything was done through the telephone. So I had this really cool, microphone that went in my ear and came down, and I'd have that microphone, and I'd sit at my desk, and I had my notebook and I had my pen, my really cool fine liner pen, and I'm writing notes. And actually I had a form that said Maximum Change. I had different questions and areas, and I still have that form. Be glad to share it with you. But the point is, I have all these years, I have almost 14 years of coaching experience, live coaching with real clients and affecting change in literally thousands of people's lives and businesses. Some of them are listed in my reviews. So that, I offer something unique because not only do I have the book smarts, but I have the real world smarts. I've actually run businesses. I have been executive in businesses. I started out as a grunt in business. I know what it's like to take a business from nothing into a global business and then sell it, get featured in Fortune magazine. Wow. I know how to do that. I've worked in media. I've worked in software development. I've worked with techies and very creative people. And here's another unique aspect of what I do. I tell my clients, because most of my clients are executives or they're business owners. And here's the problem with being an executive or business owner, and I've experienced this. You end up getting surrounded by people that tell you what you want to hear. And what you really need is someone who will be diplomatic about it, but will come to you and say, how did that work for you? Bob? Jennifer? Why are you doing that? What value is that giving you or your customers or your employees? I've told clients before that they need to hire people and they need to fire people. I've gotten both ends of the spectrum. Okay, let's talk about another value proposition statement. We make things easier for you, creating a hassle-free customer experience. Now, when I think about this, I think about I sign up for a annual cleaning of my heat pump and air conditioner. They call them heat pumps here. Down south in Florida, they call them air conditioners. Anyhow, wherever you're from, you get it. It's a heat pump or an AC. It's the heat pump AC unit. And you can sign up for an annual contract where they come in twice a year. It's usually right in the summer, right in the fall. And they service the unit, clean it, get it ready for the season. So in the summertime, they're just cleaning out the dust and everything and making sure that the heat pump is working correctly, and that here in Ohio, southern Ohio where I live, they need to make sure the gas is on and that the pilot light's running and it turns on, and that it's not going to create all of this offset gases. Make sure that the pipe or the flue is open so it doesn't shut off. Very important to have all this cleaning done. And then in the wintertime, they come and they clean out all the coils so that when the heater comes on, it doesn't smell like the house is burning down. So my point in this is that you sign up for this service, and then what they do is they call you a couple weeks out and they say, hey, we're going to be in your neighborhood and we'd like to set up a time to come service your unit. It's nearly hassle-free. Now, in some cases, you could actually set up the dates when you sign up for the service. So find a way for a value proposition. Maybe you need to find a way to make things easier for your customers, make things hassle-free for them. That's so important. Now, here's the last piece. We take ownership of customer results. Now, here's what that means. So I have an organization that I work with, and they help me to have followers on Instagram, for example. So what I do is I tell them, I will pay you X amount of dollars each month to make sure that you add so many followers to my Instagram each month. So not only am I paying them for a service, I don't have to do it. They are responsible for making sure that my followership increases every month by a certain amount of people. Not only that, they make sure that there's no attrition. So if people, let's say I say, okay, I have 800 followers, and I'm paying you to put 5,000 followers onto my my account. If they get to the 5,800 now, and then I look there and it's down to 5,500, they're already aware of that, and they are making sure that there's still people adding on to following my account. So they make it hassle-free for me. I really don't even need to check on it. All I need to do is continue to create content and create effective change, create some sort of product or service. Content meaning I'm teaching or I'm showing, I'm talking to. So if you're going to create a value proposition for your company, it's got to either talk about price, it needs to talk about your unique positioning, maybe how it helps the client, or how you do something for the client. Again, my value proposition is I help entrepreneurs build their empire. I help them build their business. How do I do that? Well, gee, I don't know. I would need to talk to you and find out what exactly you're challenged with. If you're running a business, your business is unique to you and your situation. It's unique to the geographic location you're in. It's unique to the season you're in. I was listening to a training the other day, and this lady was talking to the trainer who I follow, and they were talking about the fact that they're positioned up in the Midwest, in the north, like near the lakes, like Lake Michigan and so forth. And their top season is in the summertime. That's when they sell the most product. And so the trainer was saying, well, what you need to do is have a positioning for your product that you make all this revenue in the summertime, but when the rest of the year happens, when you're snowed in and locked in up there in the lakes, and your traffic walking into your brick and mortar has dropped significantly because nobody wants to buy t-shirts because it's too cold outside, maybe what you do is you sell that same product line, but you reposition yourself using Facebook ads and other things to target audiences in Florida, in Arizona, Southern Texas, California, places where it doesn't get necessarily as cold as it does up in northern Michigan. Now, I grew up in South Florida, and I happen to know that for me, it was cold. Now, we look back on it, and it was the upper 30s or lower 40s, but now that I live in southern Ohio, if it gets into the upper 40s, I'm taking off my jacket and putting on a t-shirt because it's now warm, because last week it was in the negatives. But the point is that you have to be able to offer solutions to a customer in their geographic location. You're not going to sell t-shirts to someone in the mid of winter in Michigan or in Wisconsin or in Ohio for that matter. But I would be able to sell hats and gloves and jackets and scarves and boots and things like that that are common in this time. So what is your value proposition? What value do you offer the client, and how does that value measure over time? So if your geographic location causes seasonal changes and things like that, make sure that your value proposition is extended through that time. Make sure that you cannot break the value proposition. In other words, that it has to hold true throughout the season, throughout the year. You can't be value proposition A this month and value proposition B next month, because it causes confusion for your potential customers. So I hope this has been helpful in building value or value propositions for your end customers. I really do. I would love to hear from you. I hope that you'll like this video and share it with others. Please feel free to reach out to me. If you go over to my website at MaximumChange.com, which I have the link over here on the side. If you go to our website at MaximumChange.com, you can follow me on all of my social media. It's in the upper right-hand corner there. You can join our website. I have 3 options that you can follow me. You can get free training. I've got some paid training. We do some webinars. And so you're very welcome, Jared. Good to have you here. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you could interact with me. If you really need some help, you have 3 options for assistance over at my website. Go check it out. We have a VIP mastermind group, which is for the top end. We've got a Entrepreneur Academy for those who are just getting started. We're offering some seminars and webinars here in the near future. The one that I'm really excited about is coming up, and that is on how to create a personal branding, and I'm working on the slide deck. This value proposition piece is just a sneak peek of that branding video, that webinar that we're getting ready to do. So go on there, and by the way, on our website we do have free training. I do not ask for a credit card when asking you to join the free training. All you have to do is put in, I think, your email address, and you're set, and you'll see videos. And I'm going to try to post this video over there as well. So I hope you have a great day. If you have any questions, reach out to me. And please feel free to go over to our website, like and follow me everywhere you can find me. I am providing content all the time. I do a lot of motivational stuff over on Instagram. So go over there and check us out. Hope you have a great day. Good to see you.